Good day, I'm meteorologist Ray Jefferson from the Fleetweather Ocean Routing Center in New York. Time is currently 9:15 GMT on the 18th of November 2022, and this is the latest update for the North Atlantic Ocean. We have some adverse conditions in the northern parts of the North Atlantic currently, and unfortunately, those conditions are expected to continue to deteriorate over the next week. We have three gale systems currently scattered across the North Atlantic Ocean. One actually in the North Sea over the British Isles, our second to the north between Greenland and Iceland, south of the Denmark Strait, and our third gale system coming off of the Canadian Maritimes in the northwestern Atlantic. The Azores High, also strong and expected to remain nearly stationary in the central North Atlantic and ridging towards the south. We'll keep an eye on our most eastern gale over the North Sea and British Isles over the next 24 hours. We expect that gale to move toward the northwest and eventually dissipate rather quickly. Taking one step back, we can see that our northern gale system has moved west and it will continue to move west towards Greenland, and our most western gale system has begun to move northeast. These two systems will become briefly complex and eventually condense into one gale system in the northern North Atlantic. We can see this broad area of rough to very rough seas that is expected to be associated with the passing cold front associated with this new gale system. Our Azores High remaining stationary, but has ridged to the northeast a little bit, allowing conditions to the west of the British Isles to ease just for about 24 hours or so, until our gale system continues to move to the northeast and eventually reaches that same position between Greenland and Iceland, just south of the Denmark Strait. We can see this very broad area of rough to very rough seas that is expected to be associated with this system. The system begins to remain pretty stationary in that location through the 21st at 12Z, where we have the development of a cutoff low just southwest of the British Isles and near the mouth of the English Channel. Between this new gale system and our Azores High, again stationary, we have an advanced northwesterly flow down into the Bay of Biscay, and those northwesterly gales are expected to generate some rough to very rough seas, again near the mouth of the English Channel and into the Bay of Biscay. We can already see a new gale forming over the Canadian Maritimes, which is expected to move to the northeast, bringing its own patch of rough to very rough seas behind its associated cold front as well. These two systems will combine by the 22nd at 12Z to bring a plethora of adverse conditions across the northern Atlantic, with some rough, very rough, and even high seas scattered across most of the northern Atlantic, making GC routes to northern ports from North America and northern Europe to be very difficult at this time. Most likely, rumline routes would be recommended from us, especially dropping further south and then beginning a rumline route across the North Atlantic from both directions. As our new gale system continues off to the northeast, we can already see right behind that system by the 23rd at 0Z, a new gale system following right behind that system, which will continue to add to these adverse currents in the northern North Atlantic regions. Unfortunately, this is the trend for northern hemispheric winter across the North Atlantic, and this trend is expected to continue over the next few months, with some breaks in between, as we'll see. This will conclude our latest update for the North Atlantic Ocean. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel and follow us on LinkedIn to receive the latest weather and routing news. Once again, this is meteorologist Ray Jefferson from the Fleetweather Ocean Routing Center. Stay connected and safe.